Hello, this is Photography Gamer, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Yakuza 0 for the PS4. Yakuza 0 is an action-adventure game developed by Sega. The game is a prequel to Yakuza and was the 6th game in the series on launch. The game focuses on the backstory of Kazuma and Goro, two Yakuza who find themselves embroiled in the empty lot dispute, which acts as a power struggle between various shady criminal organisations across Japan. So what is the game like to play? Well, for the most part it's an investigative experience where you follow the breadcrumb trail from one conversation to another, as you slowly uncover who's behind the power struggle and the double crossing going on concerning the vacant plot of land. The game isn't a complete open world, it's more of a series of small areas where you can freely explore, have fights, talk to locals and visit the local establishments. The combat system is a lot of fun and it feels like those old classic arcade beat-em-ups. The controls make it easy to take on multiple enemies and you can learn new fighting styles and techniques via the skill tree. And the skill tree can be altered anytime through the story if you earn enough cash to add to it. You can save your game in phone booths and later on in the game you get to work in a hostess bar where you can dress up the girls or even do their makeup. The game also has a wide variety of minigames including full versions of Sega arcade machines like Outrun, Super Hang-On and Space Harrier. You can go bowling, play darts, pool, or do a bit of karaoke or disco dancing. But probably the most prominent part of the game is the dialogue and the story. It's very heavy on dialogue, whether it be cutscenes or general chit-chat. It can go on a bit and it's a very Japanese story in terms of how it's told. It's very methodical, very slow paced, but you do get there in the end, but be aware there's a lot of dialogue. But on the plus side, the voice acting is really exceptional on the whole. So overall the gameplay is pretty varied, it's fun with lots of silly mini games, side quests and really good physical combat. It's a bit like the Shenmue series but for grown-ups. It's a lot more violent and a lot more adult in its sort of nature. Graphically, it's a reasonably good game to look at, but it does feel a little bit dated compared to some other games. It has that old Sega vibe to it, and the developers haven't updated their character models for years really. But the towns look good and the combat feels smooth, so it's not a bad visual experience, but it's just something that's not going to impress anybody that much. The audio is excellent throughout and the voice acting is of an incredibly high standard, the music is solid, the sound effects feel pretty familiar to anyone who's played a Sega game before, but it's kind of got that arcade Japanese feel. Okay, what's good and what's bad? It's an in-depth game with lots to do and an interesting narrative. The mini games and arcade machines are great fun, it doesn't take itself too seriously and the combat is fast, violent and really satisfying. What's bad? The game does start to get tedious after a while, the dialogue sections do seem to go on forever, graphically it's a little bit disappointing and it feels like a game trapped in an old era. So what is the verdict? Yakuza 0 is a good game with a huge amount of gameplay to get your teeth into. The minigames and side quests add some nice variety and the voice acting and script are of a very good quality. However, the game does feel quite dated in terms of its infrastructure and presentation. And it's a very slow experience. You really need patience and an interest in its characters to really enjoy it. So it's not a game for a casual 20-minute game session, it's something you have to really invest in. Personally, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it maybe like up the first 70% of the experience. Then as it was getting towards the end, the story is good, it stays good throughout, but the game did go on quite a lot and I felt like the last part of the game I was kind of just waiting for it to be over because it is quite long-winded. But it's still a very good experience. So my score for Yakuza 0 is 8 out of 10. Okay, that was the review. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. This is Photography Gamer, signing off. Thank you.